Solomon was the wisest, yet he turned his heart away from God. Despite God's warning, he married from the same nations God warned him not to associate with, and then they turned his heart against God. Was that a sign of wisdom? Moses, as the Bible says, was the meekest in his time, but he displayed anger on some occasions in his ministry. This is the same Moses who murdered someone in anger. And then we also saw on some occasions how he prayed for God to kill his entire congregation. And this is the same man who missed the promised land because of his temper. Abraham, as we all know, was the father of faith. Until today, we still covet the blessings of Abraham. Yet, Abraham doubted God at some point in his life. Everybody says Sarah laughed, Sarah laughed. Yes, Sarah laughed and doubted God's promise in Genesis chapter 18 verse 12. But Abraham laughed first and doubted the same promise in Genesis chapter 17 verse 15 to 19. The Bible says that God said to Abraham, your wife Sarah will bear you a son. And Abraham fell to his face and laughed and said in his heart, how can a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? And how can Sarah, who is 90 years, bear a son? That was the father of faith. I can go on and on to cite examples of strong men in the Bible who displayed weaknesses in the same areas of their strength. This is what we call the armed victim. It simply means that you can be a victim to what you are armed against if you are not careful. Dear believer, dear minister, dear kingdom ambassador, don't ever come to that point in your Christian journey where you become so careless, thinking you have become too strong to fall. The Bible says, be careful for nothing, but in everything. It says, let him that think he stands take heed lest he falls. You don't go window shopping with money in your pockets. Guide your salvation with fear and trembling. The enemy that is against your salvation is not asleep. He goes about to and fro looking for how to pull you down. Don't make it easy for him by always finding yourself in a compromising atmosphere. Even the Bible says, flee temptation.